evening, my friend.
Heaven be praised, you're a man.
And what did you think I was?
Well, there's no telling what might be abroad upon the moor on such a night as this.
Would you be going as far as Morgan's Head, perhaps?
Aye, and further.
Then would you be kind enough to give a tired man a lift?
Well, you know the old Cornish motto, friend. One and all, climb up here beside.
Thank you. Get this thing up. Would you mind putting that in for me?
What? Here we are. Get out of here. It's none of my affairs, mind you. But by anyone should want to be trudging the moors on a night like this, is something I've not been on.
I'm on a walking trip.
Walking trip, is it?
Newlyn, Penzance, St. Ives, Camborne.
Well, if you take my advice, when you're in this part of the country, that is, you'll do your walking by day, and let nightfall find you safely sheltered.
Well, that's a strange thing to say. And that reminds me, when I asked you if you were going to Morgan's Head, you answered aye, and further. Does that mean that you're not stopping there tonight?
I wouldn't stop at Morgan's Head for all the gold in the Bank of England.
Is the inn so bad there, then?
There's nothing amiss with a running horse.
Well, then?
Do you intend stopping at Morgan's Head tonight?
Yes.
Then perhaps you'll be finding out for yourself. Get out.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. And good luck to you. I'm thinking you'll be needing it.
Well? I beg your pardon? But I was looking for a place to stay the night. Is the proprietor, the landlord here? I be the landlord. What do we want? A room, mostly. Have you a room for me? Aye, perhaps. Well, it's getting a little cold out here. Do you think we might continue the discussion inside? You see, I'm on a walking trip. I'd like to buy a drink. Half a bitter.
Walking's thirsty business.
You're quite right, my friend. And I intend to do something about it right away.
Oh,
And I'd be very glad if all you gentlemen would join me.
come on, boys. Thank you. Hugh Penwin's my name.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Penryn? My name's Holmes, Dr. Frederick Holmes.
Oh, I didn't know you, Dr. Holmes. Oh, that's old Simon Tewkesbury.
Won't you join us in a drink, Mr. Tewkesbury? Aye.
Oh, so you're on a walking trip, eh?
That's right.
How long?
Weeks.
Weeks, eh? Oh, it's time you come and sat down.
That's an excellent idea.
Wind's rising. You're lucky to have shelter here tonight.
Am I?
Oh, old Simon, he's all right. Looks a bit scary, though.
Why does he wear that mask?
Oh, he were a tin miner once, was Simon, and a stick of dynamite went off before he was ready.
Terrible.
You ain't got much faith left. I know. And you ought to be grateful he's wearing that hood.
Poor devil. But if that's what it is, why was the peddler so scared?
Peddler? What peddler?
Why, the chap who gave me a lift.
Oh, it wasn't Simon he was scared of.
No?
No, it goes back to the days when Morgan's Head got its name.
Sounds interesting.
Yes. Many years ago, this was a big mining town. A man could own his mine by just staking it out.
Well, that must have led to a lot of trouble, didn't it?
Cornwall was like a battlefield, drenched in blood. Everyone made his own laws. And there was a feud, a big feud between the Orker family and the Morgan clan. Alan Orker and Black Morgan were mighty men. And all Cornwall was waiting for the day of the mortal combat. They met one dark afternoon outside the shaft of the mine they both wanted. Never was there such a battle. 6 hours it lasted.
Who won?
Eh?
Who won?
Back and forth they went till Alan Orker, with his strong arms, gets hold of a boulder and heaves it just as though it was a feather. Smash! It hits Morgan right in the face.
Well, that should have settled it.
Oh, it killed Morgan, all right. But Alan Orker had got blood in his eyes, and he was out with his big knife. And before anybody could stop him, he hacks off Morgan's head and sticks it on a post outside the mine.
Horrible.
There's been a curse on this place ever since. For Black Morgan that very night went looking for his head. He went through the mine, always looking for the head what was hacked off.
That's a pretty grisly story, enough to make your blood run cold.
That's how the town got its name, and that's why everyone's afraid to go near the mine.
Oh, come now. You don't mean that anyone's really seen the ghost of Black Morgan?
What would you say, Dr. Holmes, if I was to tell you that I saw the headless ghost of Black Morgan with my own very eyes?
I'd say that you needed another drink.
Eh? Oh, perhaps you're right.
Landlord, coming. Oh, Mr. Tewkesbury, Mr. Penryn could do with another drink, and I'm sure he's earned it.
How's that?
He's just told me a most interesting story.
And you'll be laughing, Dr. Holmes.
Will I?
Us folks in Morgan's Head don't like to be laughed at, Dr. Holmes. Especially by strangers, we don't.
You're quite right, Mr. Tewkesbury, and I'm terribly sorry that I...
Evening, Simon.
Evening, Sir Harry.
Good evening,
Evening, Sir Harry.
I see we have a stranger with us.
Name of Holmes, Sir Harry. Dr. Holmes.
He looks quite a nice chap. Good evening, Hugh. And good evening to you, sir. My name's Harry Leland, and I welcome you to Morgan's Head.
Good evening, Sir Harry. I'm Dr. Frederick Holmes. Won't you join us?
Thanks, I'd like to.
What be your pleasure, Sir Harry?
Whiskey and soda, please, Simon.
And what about you?
Oh, same again, Simon.
And the same for me, Mr. Tewkesbury, too, please.
Aye.
Not a very pleasant evening to be out, is it?
Lord love you, the weather doesn't worry, Sir Harry. He's here, there, everywhere, night after night, looking after us folks at Morgan's Head.
Thank you, Hugh. You see, Doctor, I have to be away quite a lot, and when I am here, I like to devote as much of my time as possible to my villagers to see they have everything they want, and, well, I think that's enough about me. Suppose you tell us something about yourself.
Well, really, there's very little to tell. You see, I'm on a walking trip through Cornwall, and it just so happens that night and the fog overtook me on my way to Morgan's Head.
A walking trip with the country at war?
I tried to join up, but they wouldn't take me.
Oh. Well, Doctor, to victory.
To victory.
Lost him.
So your friend's abroad again, eh, Hugh?
Oh, he ain't no friend of mine. I like to cut his throat from ear to ear.
Come now, Hugh, you shouldn't speak like that. You'll be giving the doctor quite the wrong impression of us peaceful folk at Morgan's Head.
Beg your pardon, Sir Harry, and you too, Dr. Holmes. The day will come when
You see, Dr. Bart, Redmond isn't quite, you know.
Is it safe for a man like that to be wandering around?
Oh, yes. Some people say he's the child of wealthy parents who left him with an old couple by the name of Telfair when they found his mind wasn't quite all it should be.
I see.
But the Telfairs are dead now, and so there's no one left to look after poor Bart.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, very unfortunate. Especially since the kids in the village never stopped teasing him. Our friend Hugh here had a try once, but I don't think he will again. Because Bart Redmond caught him and gave him a good sound beating.
Redmond seems a good man to avoid.
Oh, he's easy to handle if you don't cross him.
I'll remember that.
Oh, so you're staying with us a while?
I wouldn't dream of leaving Morgan's Head without at least having a look at the famous mine Mr. Penryn was telling me about.
What? You really mean to say you're going down to the Wickham mine?
I do. Going hunting our local ghost?
Perhaps.
Well, I hope you've got your gas mask with you.
Oh, naturally, but I don't see why...
Because sometimes, nobody knows how, the mine becomes filled with poisonous gases, and if you're caught unprepared...
Oh, thanks for the warning. But what I don't understand is that there's still tin in this Wickham mine, isn't there? Tin that England needs.
So they say.
Then why not clear out the gas and the ghost?
Dr. Holmes, if you mean why don't us folks here in Morgan's Head work the mines, it's just no go. We'll fight for our country, aye, and die for her if need be, as it's fitting and proper for Englishmen to do. And we won't hang back. when the time comes, because we'll know what we're going up against. They'll be men like ourselves, not demons out of the pit.
If the folks in Morgan's Head were down to their last farthing, they wouldn't work the Wickham mine again.
And it seems nothing will change their mind.
But if it's just the folks in Morgan's Head who feel that way...
You mean why don't we bring in miners from the outside?
That's right.
Well, in the first place, where would we house them?
Aye, and for another, we ain't particularly fond of strangers here, Dr. Holmes.
And Doctor, you needn't take Simon's remark as a personal one.
I'm very glad to hear that. You know, I was rather afraid to ask Mr. Tewkesbury whether or not he had a room for me. How about it, Mr. Tewkesbury?
I've a room right enough.
Good. Then if you gentlemen will forgive me, I think I'll be turning in. I hope I'll see you again before I leave.
Of course you will.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Nice chap. But a walking trip seems a bit odd.
Aye.
Sure, I'll be very comfortable here, Mr. Tewkesbury. Good night.
Evening, Simon.
Evening, Luke.
There's something happening, Simon. Is Sir Harry here?
Aye, he's inside.
Good. Evening, Sir Harry.
Oh, look, what's all this?
Pardon me, sir, but we're looking for a parachutist.
Parachutist?
Yes, sir. Sol Bevan's boy thought he saw him land out on the moor, but he got away in the fog before the boy could rouse Sol.
Oh, so he's on a walking trip, eh?
I'm afraid we'll have to ask our friend Dr. Holmes to come down here for a moment.
Aye, Dr. Holmes, a fine doctor he be.
Hi, what's going on here?
Strangely enough, there happens to be a new guest to be in tonight.
You don't think,
We'll let Dr. Holmes, that's the name he gave us, tell us about it himself.
Aye, he better make it good.
Come in. What can I do for you, my friend?
There's some men downstairs that want to talk to you, Dr. Holmes.
To me? But why,
Come along, Dr. Holmes.
I didn't like him the moment I put me peepers on him. A shifty sort of chap. A man who would...
I'm sorry to trouble you, Doctor, but these men would like to ask you a few questions.
very happy to oblige. What can I tell you?
You can tell us who you are and where you come from.
Well, my name is Holmes, Dr. Frederick Holmes, and I'm on a walking trip through Cornwall.
a very likely story.
I'm not accustomed to having my word questioned, my friend.
Nevertheless, we're going to ask you to give proof for everything you say.
If I could know why I'm being questioned.
Sol Bevan's son seen a parachutist land on the moors a while ago. That's why.
Oh, and And when was this parachutist supposed to have landed?
About 2 hours ago, just when the peddler picked you up.
Well, that's right. Then if I could prove where I was last night and the night before that, that should clear me of all suspicion, shouldn't it? And I think these should do it. Now, last night I stayed at the Coach and Horses in Camden. Here's a receipted bill for my accommodation there. And the night before, well, here's a receipt from the Spotted Stag in St. Ives.
Well, these are in order. So I think that puts Dr. Holmes definitely in the clear.
No offense meant, sir.
And none taken, I assure you. I realize that you gentlemen were only doing your duty.
I apologize for having brought you down like this, Doctor, but I'm sure you understand.
Of course I do. In these days, we must be constantly on the alert. Good night.
Good night. Well, fellas?
Him and his bills from the Coach and Horses and the Spotted Stag. I've been running this inn for nigh on 30 years, and I never gave no one a written bill yet.
If you ask me, his explanation was a bit too pat.
What do you think we ought to do about him, sir?
I think you ought to go back and go on with your search.
And leave him here?
Oh, we'll keep an eye on him, won't we, Simon?
That we will, sir.
All right, we better be running along.
Oh, by the way, have you looked in the mine yet? Your parachutist may be hiding in there.
Well, if he is, he's welcome. You don't catch me setting my foot in the Wickham mine. Not tonight or never.
Well, Dr. Holmes seems innocent enough, but we'd better be careful.
Never fear, sir. I'll watch him like a ferret.
Oh, and me too.
If I may make a suggestion, Hugh, you might stay sober for once.
Governor, not a drop shall pass my lips.
My Herbert says as how, when Dr. Holmes reached into his pocket, it like to run him through with a pitchfork.
What was Uncle Simon doing when all this was going on?
He were watching, Miss Letty. Watching like he always does through them eye holes in that sack.
That's enough, Ruby.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is this Dr. Holmes now?
Oh, finished up his breakfast, he did. And then he said he was off to see the Wickham mine.
Mine? That's odd.
And the minute after he left, your Uncle Simon, he done likewise. Oh, it seems like...
Morning, Letty.
Hello, kid.
Hello, Ruby.
Good morning, Mr. Ilton.
How about a cup of tea, kid?
Splendid. Well, that is, if it won't take too long. Truth of the matter is, Letty, I've come over to say goodbye. I'm going away.
Kid, you're not.
But don't worry, I'll be back tonight.
You.
How about that tea, Ruby?
I'll get it for you in half a mo, sir.
Understand you had a bit of a do last night.
Yes, they thought they'd cornered a parachutist, but it turned out to be a false alarm.
Maybe that's what they want to talk to me about over at Beaufort.
Beaufort?
Yes, I'm due over there at 11 o'clock. A good old heart-to-heart with a pair of brass hats.
When do you suppose you'll be back?
Time to whisper sweet nothings into your ear tonight. The usual time and the usual place. The way it's one of the most delightful little ears I've ever seen.
Stop it, you idiot. Here's Ruby with your tea.
Thank you, Ruby. You know, there may be some sort of Nazi Johnny operating in the neighborhood of that. It might be a good idea if you'd keep your eyes open today.
All right, I will.
Until tonight, then?
Until tonight.
The wheat, Ruby.
What's the matter, Ruby?
I'm always so satisfied with my Herbert until I see your Mr. Ilton.
You ought to have more sense. And you too, Mary. I should think you'd all be ashamed of yourselves. Bart Redmond's never done anything to any of you, and I want you to let him alone. Do you understand? All right, now go on. Get out of here, all of you. Go on.
They threw stones at me.
If they do it anymore, Bart, I want you to come and tell me about it.
Yes?
Bart, there's something I want you to do for me.
They shouldn't have thrown them stones at me.
There's a man, Bart. His name is Dr. Holmes. He's gone to the mine and...
I never hurt them. They're so small.
I want you to go to the mine, Bart, and see that nothing happens to Dr. Holmes. Do you understand what I'm saying, Bart?
Yes, Miss Letty. But why don't they like me? I never hurt them. They threw stones at me, and I never hurt them at all.
Regarding the Wickham mine. You know, we're at war, and it's a pretty tough war. Oh, we'll win all right. That's something we always manage to do. But before we do, as Mr. Churchill said, we're going to have to give and give again. To work and then work harder. To die. And dying, no but one regret, that we have just one life to give for England.
Oh, young fella. You don't expect old gaffers like us to join up and shoulder a musket, do you?
To shoulder a musket, no. To join up, yes. I want you to handle the tools you're best fitted to use. The picks and the shovels and the dynamite. That's necessary to make the Wickham mine produce again. England needs that tin, and it's up to you to get it out. And what is it that keeps you from going back into the mine? You tell me it's because you're afraid. Afraid of a ghost. A phantom that never existed, except in the childish imaginations of a lot of panic-stricken old men. Don't you realize that if we lose this war, you're going to have to face something much more frightful than any ghost that ever walked. If it ever did.
Morgan's ghost has walked all right, as most of us know to our sorrow.
Now, look here.
It's no good, Mr. Hilton. As Simon said last night, we'll fight for our country and die for it if needs be, like men, with guns in our hands. But no man in Morgan's Head is going to get up against them.
Mr. Jukes,
What is it, Ruby?
Dr. Holmes ain't been home all night, sir.
What's that you say, girl?
When I went out to ask him, did he want his shaving water brung up? He didn't answer. So I tried the door. Open it were. And when I went in the room, there were all his belongings. And his bed hadn't been so much as lie down on.
I thought there was something strange when he didn't come home for supper last night. Here, come with me, girl. Come on.
If you don't mind my saying so, Hilton, I think you ought to postpone your little talk.
But you see, sir,
The first thing we've got to do is to look for the missing man. Very possibly all this has a direct bearing on everything you've been saying. Come on, fellas.
Dr. Holmes! Dr. Holmes!
Of course, he might have wandered in there in the dark.
Hey, that he might.
If he did, I'm afraid it was the end of him.
And quite an horrible end if you should ask me, sir.
Oh, I don't know. I can imagine worse.
Begging your pardon, Sir Harry. Like what, for instance?
Like meeting the headless ghost of Black Morgan.
The headless ghost of Black Morgan? Now, I have got the Horus for fair.
Steady, Herbert. Remember, we haven't searched that mine yet.
Not for me, Sir Harry. I don't want no part of a job like that.
Dr. Holmes! Where are you? Dr. Holmes! Do you hear me?
He'll never hear you not no more. Now, nobody else. Never no more.
Dr. Holmes! Where are you?
Dr. Holmes, are you there?
I don't say that it can't be done, Kit, but it's going to take time.
that's the one thing we haven't got. That mine should be operating at full capacity right now. As a matter of fact, it should never have ceased operating.
The men are coming back.
Well?
Not a sign of him.
We've searched for miles around and ain't seen eye to hair of him yet.
Been all over the moor with a fine tooth comb.
You mean to say you've hunted everywhere?
Hill and hollow, marsh and fen. Scoured everywhere.
Did you search the mine? I said, did you search the mine?
No, miss, we didn't.
Well, I should have thought that would be the first thing.
It ain't no use you hammering any further at us, Mr. Hilton. There ain't none of us going down that mine, and that's the end of that.
And you call yourselves men? Why, you're nothing but a pack of hysterical old women frightened by a witch's tale. Now, I take that back. Women would have more courage than you have. A stranger comes to our village and something happens to him. A fall down a shaft, perhaps. Why, he may be lying down there now, hurt and calling for help. And there's no one to hear him. Just because you, the brave men of Morgan's Head, can't muster up enough courage to go into an abandoned mine. Because someone even more cowardly than you once told you it was haunted. Well, all right. Get home to your houses. Jump into bed. And pull the covers up over your head so the ghosts can't get at you. But I'm going into the mine. And if the stranger's in there, I'm going to find him.
Just a moment, lady.
Oh, please let me.
It won't be necessary for you to go. I'll have a look in the mine myself.
I'll come with you, Hilton. I'd have gone before if it hadn't been for a certain reluctance on the part of our friend Herbert. You won't need your gas mask. Just a moment.
What's that?
We're being followed. Dr. Redmond.
Where's Dr. Holmes? Miss Letty told me to take care of him.
And you were with him, weren't you?
but it was dark. I lost him.
I'll come along. We won't find him standing here.
Come on, Bart.
What's that?
It's Dr. Holmes. Poor devil.
His head. He ain't got no head.
Hilton, I'm afraid you're never going to get the men of Morgan's Head into this mine again.
And I think I will. Because I can show them now that this wasn't the work of any ghost. Redmond, you're coming back to town with us.
Bart Redmond, stand up. Tell us exactly what happened when you followed Dr. Holmes into the mine.
Nothing happened.
But you admit that you did go in after him.
Of course he did. I told him to protect the doctor.
Please, Letty, please.
But this whole thing is so ridiculous. There isn't a man at all Morgan's Head who thinks that Bart Redmond killed Dr. Holmes.
I do.
And you're the only one. And they've been saying for years that each one of these murders is the work of the headless ghost.
And your precious Bart Redmond's in league with him. Else why should he be the only one to go down the Wickham mine and come up with his head on his shoulders?
That's a lot of rotten. It's about time you knew it. Ghosts don't kill, except in storybooks.
Oh. Captain, you don't understand what you're talking about, Mr. Hilton. There's a parcel of us folks here who are a sight older than you are, and if you'll pardon me saying so, just as much brain. We know what Morgan's ghost can do. There was George Belton, Dick Talcott, Roger Martin, dead, all of them dead. Why? Because they worked the mine that Morgan didn't want worked.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it ain't. He told us then, as he's telling us now, in a language we all understand.
Well, here's some more language that you can understand. That mine's going to be opened, and it's going to be made to produce. And as for your headless ghost, Sir Harry, I must ask you to lock this man up.
On what charges?
Suspicion of murder.
You haven't any right to do this.
I'll take the full responsibility. And with Redmond out of the way, we'll see how many more murders there are in Morgan's Head.
All right, Constable, take him away.
So come with me, Bart Redmond.
And good riddance to bad rubbish.
You had naught to say.
You won't do yourself no good. Come here.
Just you wait. He had naught to say.
Who's there?
It's me, Ruby. Let me in. Please hurry, miss.
Just a moment, Ruby. What in the world's the matter?
There's a big crowd in the tap room, miss, that are drinking and arguing.
What about?
About what they're going to do to Bart Redmond.
Bart Redmond?
Sue Bevins and Roger Pawley and heads like them. They say there ain't a man, woman, or child in Morgan's Head what is safe as long as Bart Redmond is around.
Why, that's the most...
They're going to tar and feather him. Your Uncle Simon tried to talk him out of it, but when he found there was no oath in them, he asked me to let you know what was happening.
Good for Uncle Simon. We've got to get Mr. Hilton and his men over there immediately.
But there ain't time, miss. They're leaving any minute now.
All right, Ruby, all right. Then it's up to me to get there before them. Come on, help me.
Yes.
Hold your horses, can't you? I'm coming. What's all the blinking racket about it? Oh, it's you, Miss Lake.
Hello, Tom. I've got to talk to you.
What is it, Miss Lady?
Hello, Bart.
I don't like it here, Miss Letty.
Well, don't worry. I'll take you away. Tom, you've got to turn Bart Redmond loose.
Who says I do?
They're coming to tar and feather him.
Tar and feather him? They ain't taking nobody out of here. Bart's in my charge, and here he stays till I hand him over to them chaps at Beaufort.
But you can't stand them off, Tom. They're too strong for you.
Too strong for me, maybe. But they ain't too strong for old Mariah here. She'll make them see reason.
But they're past all reason, Tom. They've been drinking and they're so stirred up they don't know what they're doing. They're coming.
I'm in trouble right enough.
Let me out of here. Let me out.
Stop that, you idiot.
Please, Tom. If they take him, you'll lose your job and it'll be the end of you. Then what's going to happen to Mary and the children? You know you're not as young as you used to be, and it won't be too easy for you to find something else to do. Tom, you've got to let him out.
door, Tom Andrews.
Open up quickly if you know what's good for you.
Open up, I say.
What is it you want?
We want Bart Redmond, and you must not try to stop our taking him.
Stay where you are, I blow your heads off.
Look! Where is he, Tom Andrews?
I don't know.
You've let him loose, that's what you've done.
If you did, you'll answer for it.
I'll answer for it, will I? It seems to me you men will have plenty to answer for before this night was done with.
What's been going on, Kate Tewkesbury?
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Elton.
One of my men reports that there's been some sort of disturbance. I'm here to find out what did happen.
I can tell you, kid.
Well?
Some of the men got a bit out of order tonight.
What do you mean?
They decided to take the law into their own hands.
Who are these men?
That's something I can't tell you, kid. And what's more, you'll never find out by yourself.
But if they broke the law, Letty...
They were going to punish Bart Redmond.
To take him out of jail?
Yes. I found out what was going to happen, so I released him.
You released him? Why didn't you let me know what they were up to?
I wanted to, but there wasn't a minute to spare.
Seems to me, Letty, that you've taken a great deal upon yourself.
I kid...
You knew I was going to take Redmond over to Beaufort in the morning.
I did what I thought was right, and I'm prepared to accept the full responsibility for my actions.
The responsibility for turning a murderer, a killer loose on a helpless community.
That's ridiculous.
Remember this, Letty. If there's another drop of blood spilled in Morgan's head...
I repeat, Mr. Hilton, I'm completely prepared to accept the full responsibility for what I've done.
What time did Miss Letty leave the house?
I don't know, sir.
You're sure?
Yes, sir.
You didn't see her go?
No, sir.
What did she have with her when she left?
A packet of sandwiches.
So you did see her go?
Ruby, you better tell the truth.
Yes, Sir Harry. It was about an hour ago, sir, Miss Letty left. Fixed her up a nice packet of sandwiches I did, and off she...
Ruby, you know where Redmond is hiding, don't you?
Do I have to tell that, sir? Oh. Miss Letty said he were in the Wickham mine. Leastwise, that's where she...
Why, Letty! Redmond!
What's the matter? What have you done to her?
The ghost were in the mine.
Ghost? What kind of rot is that? You harmed her, Redmond, I'll kill you.
The ghosts were in the mine. Here, give her this water.
What? Where?
It's all right, darling.
But the ghost. The ghost, I saw it.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course I'm sure. Oh, it was horrible. He had a knife and...
Just a moment, Letty. Where did you find Miss Letty, Redmond?
In the mine.
What did I tell you? The ghosts were in the mine, and Redmond here was with him. These two be in league with the devil. I, for one, will not...
Barry!
Oh, what is it? What's the matter?
It's Hugh Penryn, sir. He's dead.
What? Oh, you gone?
I nearly stumbled across him out on the moors a while ago. He was lying in a pool of blood, and he didn't have no head.
No head?
No, sir. It was stuck on a stake beside him, sir.
I think we know who the ghost is now. Redmond, you're coming with me. And this time... I got him! Hold him, boy! Come to protect him, aren't you? Well, it'll be a simple enough matter to round him up.
Aye, he'll head straight for the mine.
Yes, I'll take some of my men and go in after him. If you'll be so good, sir, as to report Penryn's murder to Beaufort.
I'll go at once.
Thank you.
Any luck, Hilton?
I'm afraid not, sir. We searched the mine and the surrounding country thoroughly.
There won't be much chance of finding Redmond at night. Resume your search in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
What in heaven's name you...
Come with me, Miss Letty.
Where, Bart?
To the mine.
To the mine?
Yes, come quick now.
No, Bart, no.
I've found something.
I'm afraid.
I'll take care of you, Miss Letty. But come quick, please.
All right, Bart. All right. Wait for me below. I'll be down in a moment.
I remember.
What are you talking about?
I remember the picture.
Bart, how did you know? What a fool I've been. What fools we've all been. Bart, don't you see it's a trick?
Miss Letty, somebody's coming.
Letty!
Thank heavens it's you. I was so...
What are you doing here?
Bart brought me. He found an entrance to this place from the Wickham mine.
I see.
And kids, look at that.
Yes. Our intelligence fellow suspected it. That's why I'm here. I got Sir Harry out of the way tonight so that I could get into this house to hunt for definite evidence.
Which, unfortunately, you will be unable to use, Mr. Hilton. Keep your hands off that gun. When they were so anxious to detain me at Beaufort, I thought that something... Stand still, you fool.
You're the one who...
Beginning to remember, are you, after all these years? Yes, I'm the one who...
Cold-blooded.
You see, I mean business, Mr. Hilton.
I see everything now.
But too late to be of any use to you, I'm afraid. It may interest you to know that I was the headless ghost, and it was I who kept you stupid English out of the Wickham mine for such a long time. That is to say, until your mining expert, Dr. Holmes, saw fit to interfere. I dealt with him. You see, we laid our plans very carefully and a long time ago.
What do you mean by we?
I see you don't know much about the early history of tin mining in Cornwall. Well, let me tell you that during the reign of your King George I, a great many Germans were brought over to work the mines.
Germans?
And some of the German nobility settled here to supervise them.
What's all that got to do with you?
My great-grandfather, sir, was a von Waldenburg. So when our beloved Führer came into power, I was called back to Germany and told the time had arrived for me to serve my fatherland. If you recall, Miss Carstairs, soon after my return, the headless ghost put in its first appearance. I have succeeded in keeping it very much a part of the community life and death ever since. Now I must ask you two to walk ahead of me.
What are you going to do, Leland?
We're going to visit the mine, we three. There are certain features of it with which you are unfamiliar. It will be my great pleasure to explain them to you. Come on, march. You heard what I said, march. Through that door. Unlock that door. Go on. I prepared this room for people like you. As you see, it's full of explosives. So when I touch it off, I'll eliminate all further interference. Gute Nacht.
Oh, wire. Dynamite. Harry, get him.
Are you all right? Yes. I was never so happy to see anyone in all my life.
But I thought you were dead.
No, my dear.
But I don't...
Come back to the inn, Letty. Dr. Holmes will tell you all about it.
The papers we found in Sir Harry's desk prove that Bart is the rightful heir to Leland Hall. You see, Sir Harry managed to get Bart put out of the way on account of Bart's mental condition.
Oh, but that's all over now. The doctors say they can definitely help him. You know, he must have an iron constitution, that Redmond fellow, to do what he did with 2 bullets in him.
It's too bad this couldn't have been cleared up before poor Uncle Simon was... I still don't see how Sir Harry thought it was you he'd killed.
It's very simple. You see, I heard the struggle and got back just in time to see... Well, we mustn't go into that. At all events, Miss Carstairs, I changed clothes with your uncle, realizing that that would give me an advantage and enable me to carry on my work undetected.
I'm glad Uncle Simon didn't die in vain. Because now the Wickham line can do its share in winning the war for England. Listen! The men going back to the mine.
This is a great day for Morgan's Head
and for England.
Hitler now.